Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Hey viewers, today we have Aakash with us. He is a Mumbai University graduate and engineer and then went on to do his MMS from KJ Somaiya. So recently he has completed his MMS from KJ Somaiya and he will be sharing his scoop with all of us. So hi Aakash, how are you?
Hello, sir. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So how is lockdown treating you?
I gave some time to do my hobbies in the free time. But then, yeah, again, now that the companies have started welcoming the newer batch, so even my job has started. So, yeah, keeping it pretty healthy and working from home and trying to keep myself busy in all other hobbies that I've started. So, yeah, that's good.
Wow. So what are your hobbies? Can you name few?
So, sir, I've started reading actually recently, and also meanwhile preparing because we all know that web series is something which the new generation likes. So, yeah, watching couple of web series. So these are the two things which keep me busy right now.
Right. So utilizing internet at its peak.
Right. Yes.
Okay, great. So, Akash, can you take the viewers through your profile in brief?
Sure, sir. So I've completed my BE, Bachelor's of Engineering from DJ Sangvi in Electronics and Telecommunication. Post which I've worked with BNP Paribas for a span of 25 months. I worked there as a support analyst, basically working for banking applications on the IT side of the bank. Post which simultaneously I was preparing for my CAT preparations as well as CET preparations and all other exams and was able to get into KJ Somaiya with MMS seat. So that's about me.
Okay. So, you had good 2 years of experience as an engineer. So, can you tell the viewers how it helped you or how it is helping you in learning this 2 year of MBA? Like, there are few people who say gain some experience before going for MBA. There are few who generally stick with the norm that they want to continue with the education, don't want to take a break. So, how did that work experience at BNP helped you in learning the subjects at MBA?
So first of all, the work really helps you once you get into an MBA because it's basically a lot of things that are taught in MBA are related to your work. So you relate it much better, and you are able to come up with questions, queries, or even answers for that. Say when you are learning those subjects, or you are able to relate it to the real life experiences really. So that's one of the positives which I'll say. Secondly, obviously, once you're working, you know that the work environment, because some people are very they, for example, freshers. There's a sudden transition which happens when you move from a school life or say college life into a corporate life. The things are very different because now you are responsible for your own actions. So a lot of that transition helps. Certain work ex definitely helps you when you are going for higher studies. So even when interactions with say during the placements or with the professors, at that level, or even for that say with peers. So all this really helps once you have a certain work ex before going into an MBA. But for that say, even for freshers, that's not something which they cannot learn. There's definitely a lot of things that freshers have an advantage over work ex people. So it's likewise. It's just that my experience has been really good. Like the work ex really helped me to take more benefits out of my MBA degree.
Okay, great. So let's go a bit in flashback and let's understand when you thought of doing an MBA. So was it during your graduation time or you realized of doing an MBA while you were working?
So, sir, I had been preparing for MBA in my final year of engineering. I did start preparing, but then the preparation was not at its peak. It was it was haywire, very new to studying MBA. So it takes a certain time for you to get accustomed to the pattern of studies, the subjects, getting to the basics, and then moving into the advanced levels. So I did that, and obviously once you I gave it in the final year of engineering, the marks were not satisfactory enough. So I went on to work with BNP. Uh, Again, in the first year, the preparations were there, but then I was not really sure if I'll be pursuing that. And with when you're in the very first year of of your job, there's a lot of expectations from the management from you. You are learning new things, so that preparation took a seat back. But then in the second year again, I realized that if you have to move forward, it's good that you study, because right now you have time in your hand. So I started preparing again, and then mm, uh, while at the job preparing for this again, it was a challenge, but then it overcame, and I scored pretty decent to get into KJ Sony.
So what was your percentile in CET?
So it was 99.64 percentile in CET.
Okay. Great, great, great. So that is a very good percentile, in fact. Okay, so as you said that you were working and you were preparing simultaneously with your workers. So can you tell us how were you able to manage your time? How were you able to extract the time to prepare for these subjects? And what were the challenges that you faced in preparation?
So, sir, the very first challenge is to keep yourself motivated. Now that there's one thing that you are into your job, you are earning. So that uh, you do not see the road ahead. You have to plan way ahead when you're thinking of moving forward in career, because you already have a career option in front of you. So at that time, firstly thinking about preparing for the MBA again, as I said, in the very first year, I was not sure, like, is this the way I'm gonna move forward? So maybe talking to your peers, or consulting with your manager, or something of that sort really help you. So first, you have to decide that, okay, even if I have a job, I want to move into a particular direction. So I made because I was also working on banking applications. So I had a knack for finance, so I wanted to do finance. Even the so there was support from parents, there was support from my managers and peers at BNP. So that's the very first challenge of you deciding that you have to actually pursue MBA. Secondly, there are various challenges when you work. So very first thing is time management. Now that you're working, you have to balance your work along with your preparation. That becomes really difficult, because when you come home at around 8 o'clock, 8:30, if you are already tired, your brain is exhausted from working. Some days are really tiring at job, and when then you have to convince yourself that, okay, I have this timetable, I've made this, I have this study pattern. I have to follow this at any cost, because the clock keeps ticking. The exams dates are there already. You have planned your entire schedule, and you have to move it accordingly, because even a day of you skipping your preparations will have an effect on your final score. So that thing was really difficult, and that's time management becomes really important. At the planning your leaves also, because you are entitled to have certain leaves, so utilizing them to your full extent, utilizing your weekends to the full extent. Preparing for. I remember I prepared for 6 or 7 hours on the weekends, especially. So not taking a day off, skipping certain outgoing activities. So all that's required for preparing for MBA. So yeah, that's the major challenge, I'll say, that you encounter while working.
Okay, okay, great, great. So, in addition to CET, did you appear for any other entrance?
Yeah, so I appeared for CAT, I had appeared for Snap, even uh, uh, for all other competitive CMAT, everything. So I've appeared for everything, but my
Mm-hmm.
end focus was CET,
Okay.
because uh, I knew that CAT requires a certain amount of more dedication, and because of job, it was becoming a bit difficult for me at that point of time. So yeah.
Correct. So any other calls you had apart from KJ Somaiya?
Yeah. So I had one call from Jim, Goa Institute of Management. I also had an interview with IMT Ghaziabad, but then I had already started. I already had scored for CET. So I was sure that I'm gonna get into one of the colleges here. So I did not appear for the interview there.
Okay.
Yeah. So these were the two calls I had.
Okay. Great. Acha, so you got a good percentile and you went through the admission. So can you brief a bit about the admission process and the cutoffs of KJ Somaiya, especially the MMS course?
Yeah. So we all know that like there are top three or say four colleges that you have to target while preparing for your CET. Number one being JBIMS. Obviously, the cutoff ranges in 99 point for open category, or it ranges from 99.98 to 99.96. That's the average cutoff. The seats are very limited. Suppose that you have Sidnam. Again, the cutoff during our time was 99.68, so missed it by a mark. That's there. And then it's KJ Somaiya, wherein the cutoff for open category goes to 99.34, 99.2. That's the final list. So you can also apply through ILS seats, and of course you have your Gujarati quota in there. So that's there. Then you have Wellingkar and El Dalmia. So yeah, that's the cutoff.
Correct. Okay, fair enough. ठीक है. So you went into KJ Somaiya. So can you give us certain insights about the college which only a student would be knowing about?
Okay, yeah. So it brings back a lot of memories actually. So the number one thing is there are a lot of committees, a lot of student-driven committees, which I would recommend each one of them who gets into KJ Somaiya to be a part of. Uh, the thing that it helps is that it will teach you work-life balance. So you have your studies, you're preparing for your studies already. Meanwhile, you have a lot of committee work, and that ranges from you preparing for depends on what committee you are in, but then preparing for them, if there is any if you are interested in finance, you have FinStreet, you have interface for marketing, you have force for operations. So there are 30 committees, and they are organizing events, they're organizing debates, they're organizing all sorts of competition. So you're preparing for them, you're participating in them, you're getting a first-hand experience of what your corporate job would be like, managing two things simultaneously. So that's one thing which I'll definitely recommend. Second is Bloomberg Terminal. Take full use of that of this thing which KJ Somaiya provides, because there are only I think two colleges which have Bloomberg Terminal currently, and KJ Somaiya is one of them in Mumbai. So please do that. Sit through that terminal and do the courses. Take faculty's help who are available there. And third is faculty. So having over like what 100 plus faculty at KJ Somaiya, they are all ready to help you. We have an entire floor just for faculty. They are available at their time, and they are very friendly. You can approach them at any point of time. They are not gonna say no. They're gonna help you. So be it thesis, be it preparing for case studies or writing papers, they are very much interested, and they are looking for students out there. So yeah, take these three factors into your mind when you get into KJ.
Okay, great. So that's it from my side, Akash. Can you give some pro tip to the students who are preparing for MBA entrances, specifically CET?
Yeah, so it's all about managing your time in CT. The questions are not difficult, to be honest. If you get sufficient time, you would be able to solve it. But it's race against time. CT is all about how quickly you can think on your feet and you can solve a problem. So it's all about practice. Keep practicing. Keep working on your difficult parts. So there's a lot of time that for me especially, I had a very weak DI, so I kept ignoring that, but it's not something which you should do ideally. Keep preparing, keep practicing a lot, give a lot of mocks, sufficient mocks before you actually appear for your exam. So that's the one pro tip. Practice makes permanent. So that's one thing which I'll say.
Okay, ठीक है. Thank you so much, Akash, for your time, and we wish you luck for your future endeavors.
Thank you so much, sir, and all the best to all the viewers who are preparing for your MBA. Hope to see you on the other side.
Great. Okay, bye bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you.